What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Bontu action. Hope you're excited. Well, technically, it's not Bontu. It's Liliana at the helm. We're gonna have some. Double, whirl, double sound these Simic alarms. Now, as far as our opening hand, yeah, I like this. We'll go ahead and keep on this one. Sounds good. Got the little Snake Mancer on the battlefield. Well, not yet. Hopefully, we'll get him on the battlefield. But got ourselves 3 swamps and a Phyrexian Arena. I will take that. Let's go and get these swamp down. Anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn. We are playing Liliana. She has lifelink. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, exile Liliana, then return her to the battlefield transformed. If you do, create a 2/2 black creature zombie. Playing gets double sound the Simic Alarm. We have Thrasios, 4 mana, scry 1, really top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, otherwise draw a card. Playing gets Kydele. Sorry. Just lost it right there. I was just about to start talking, and I was just like, blah, forgot how to speak. Alright, anything else? Nothing for 2. We're going to go past turn. Kydele, tap, add 1 colorless mana for each card you've drawn this turn. And it's not like that was a really hard thing to read. It was just like, I saw the colorless symbol, and I was like, my brain just froze. Like, that's not a word, that's a symbol. But we've seen it before, so why did we do that? Let's go and get the swamp down. We did hit the land drop for the turn, so I'm okay with actually going Phyrexian Arena. If we didn't hit an extra land to make sure, then I maybe would have gone for Read the Bones, but we're okay with Phyrexian Arena. But yes, so this is Bontu's deck, but Bontu graciously gave the keys to Liliana and said, hey, why don't you drive for a game? And here we are. Bontu and Liliana, they share a lot of the same characteristics in that they like creatures to die. They're nice like that. Oh, thank you so much, Liliana and Bontu. But yeah, so somebody said you should build a Liliana deck, and I said, well, you know what? I've got a mono black aristocrats deck that would be perfect for her to drive. So here we are. Ooh, drawn to Grave Titan. Let's go and get that down. So Sword of Feast and Famine, protection from black and green. Now, we are mono black, so that will be difficult for us to get around. So we have to watch out for the Sword of Feast and Famine. Read the Bones, Grave Titan, get the Mancer down. Could start getting some snake tokens. Kind of force them to go for the... Yeah, I'm okay with that. Then we go for Living Death next turn. Read the Bones next turn. Maybe get that rocking and rolling. And we could, if things get a little bit crazy, we can go for a preemptive Living Death. Just kind of clean the board up just a little bit. Anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn. Alright, so we covered commanders, my commander, we're good, we can chat, it is free time, hang out with your buddy and talk to whoever you want to, and your buddies, all of you are my buddies, so I'm excited, we get to talk now. But yeah, as far as this deck goes, it's 100% just grab Bontu, put him in the deck, and put Liliana over here. But Liliana has a really cool ultimate. For -8, you get an emblem that says whenever a creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. So, you get into the spot to where you can, and this is just about to get nasty with that Sword of Feast and Famine out there, ugh. It's like, man, you never see Sword of Feast and Famine until you play mono black deck. But this is like the second time I've tried to record Liliana where opponent gets down Sword of Feast and Famine. And I'm just like, huh, alright. Never really got much of an answer for that bad boy. Alright, Horizon Spellbomb. Because it's about to get really nasty. Well, the only good thing is that Kydele, Prophet of Crufix, doesn't have partner ability. Because other than that, that would just be... oh, nasty. Alright, so they're going to get the untapped lands with the Sword of Feast and Famine. Not going to be able to block on this one. Discard a card. Let's go ahead and chunk the Living Death. We can bring back the Grave Titan. I like that. Let's slowly work towards a nice little Reanimator Living Death. I think that sounds pretty fun. That sounds good for us. We just need to make sure we stay ahead on, we don't have to discard Living Death. We can wipe them out, get some nice little Grave Titans. If we can find a sack outlet, we can sacrifice the snake, get the snake token in, not the snake token, but get the snake dancer. Is that a female? I think it is. I've always thought it was a male, but it might be a female. It's got some dark eyeshadow that looks kind of, looks a little guyish. But hey, if that's her, if she wants to dress like that, go for her. But I think that is a female. Yeah, that is. Snake Dancer. Cool. Didn't know that. Always thought it was a dude. That's one of the fun things about Magic Art is you kind of get a little bit closer look and kind of see what's going on. And speaking of Magic Art, did you know this? Look at the dude in the background and ponder. Follow my mouse. There's a dude that's been staring at you this entire time as you cast Ponder. The first time I found that out, I was like, it freaked me out. I was about to write Magic a letter and be like, why would you do this to me? The dude's really creepy. I didn't write him a letter. And I wouldn't have. I just thought it was really neat. And I figured that you should know that too, if you're going to be a Magic player. Okay. Ooh, Coffers and Urborg off Phyrexian Arena. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's go get that down. We tap it for 3. You got 4 swamps on the battlefield. I like that. We're going to get that down. And then I guess we'll go ahead and get Liliana going. I guess either way we get down Liliana, they're going to have protection from black. Let's go ahead and go for a... Let's go for Read the Bones. Or we could just go for Staff of Nin to kind of really ramp up the card draw. I think I like that. Let's go Staff of Nin. We can start pinging our opponent, get a little bit extra card draw. We're going to be able to get down the Urborg, which will really turn on the coffers kind of line of play for us. We're just going to have to watch out for the Thrasios. And at this point right now, we just might as well just go and swing in. I mean, there's nothing else that we can really do about it. So coming in hot for 3, and we'll start directing those Staff of Nin triggers at our opponent up top. So coming in hot for 3, and then the Horizon Spellbomb. Set your library for a basic, put in a graveyard, pay, do draw a card. Okay. Just to make sure we weren't going to forget about anything. Okay, so as far as next turn goes, we're going to have card draw. A little bit of card draw from Staff of Nin, card draw from Phyrexian Arena. Our opponent, we're actually ramping a little bit quicker than our opponent. You know, they don't really have the profit out there to start saving up that colorless mana. So we're in a pretty good little spot. We can get down Urborg. That's going to turn us into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be 6 total lanes that we can tap out for. And then we have 2 card draws. So we can make this work. Sounds like a plan to me. And we still have Grave Titan coming off of the Living Death, so that sounds good. If we can get a sack outlet, that'd be wonderful, because then we can get down Liliana and then kind of just have everybody go to the safe bunker of the graveyard and be nice and safe and not worry about anybody pestering them, and then we can be good. I'll take that. We love playing graveyard style decks. It's always fun. It's my safe. When my graveyard gets exiled, and it's just, I'm calm. Like, I'm calm when that happens, but I don't let you know, and I'm like magic little kid on the inside, just kicking and screaming that this is just BS, that you should be able to rest in peace an entire graveyard away. I will fight that fight until my death. It didn't bother me that bad, but yeah, I hate rest in peace. Not a cool card. Okay, so we got Thrasios swinging in. They're going to be able to untap that mana. Coming in hot, we still have a Staff of Nin activation. I deal 1 damage up top. We're going to send that rocking and rolling over there. And they're going to be able to untap all of their lands too, so it is what it is. We have to discard a card. Let's go and discard the Swamp. We'd very much like the Read the Bones over there. Now, we are getting pretty close to where if we make the land drop, Read the Bones, we're going to have to go for that Living Death. So we do have to watch out for that. We don't want to just miss out on Living Death to bring Grave Titan back out of the battlefield because we forgot about Sword and Feast and Famine. So we need to watch out for that. Make sure we have at least 2 cards in the hand. We'll be okay, though, with Phyrexian Arena, Staff of Nin, and Read the Bones. So we're looking at like 5 cards next turn between Phyrexian, Staff, Read the Bones, and then our card draw for the turn, making the land drop with Urborg. So we should have a nice chunk of mana to kind of start doing some stuff. Let's go for that activation. Sending it up top. Bonk, bonk, bonky in the head with the Staff of Nin. And they're going to have to discard. So we'll see about getting down Liliana. Let's go Staff of Nin. Draw a card. Gauntlet of Power. Oh, Tool Time Grunt. Bloodthrone Vampire. Alright. Let's go get down Urborg. See how much mana we're working with. Let's go tap the coffers. That's going to be 6. We can go and go Gauntlet of Power. Yeah, we're kind of getting somewhere. Let's get down Gauntlet of Power like that. We're going to name white on this one. Kind of throw our opponent off. See what, like, hey man, expect the unexpected. We're going to name white. No, we're not. We're naming black. We're going to get this down. Sometimes you just draw all your ramp stuff in your card draw, and then you just really take advantage of it. Alright, so see if this, our opponent might, no, they don't. They don't have a counterspell. I thought they were going to pause on that one. Okay, so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. Let's go ahead and I'd really like to get, we can go for double Read the Bones and Sign in Blood. That's going to be 5. Well, actually, we can just kind of dump our, let's go Sign in Blood. Actually, let's go Read the Bones first. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. We're okay with that. Vampiric Tutor. Let's go and put that on the bottom. Let's put Vampiric Tutor on top. Buried Alive. Ooh, I kind of like that. Let's go ahead and go for the Buried Alive. Because we can have that Living Death in our hand that we're going to be able to cast next turn. Search our library for up to 3 creature cards. Put them into the graveyard. Let's go ahead and put the, what kind of helps us? So we have Grave Titan already kind of chilling over there. Let's go Massacre Worm. Actually, let's go Fleshbag Marauder. We kind of want a little bit of sacrificing going on. And we're not that good of devotion at this point right now. I think Massacre Worm does sound good. That we can kind of minus down on their creatures. And then Bontu the Glorified. Let's go ahead and go for the Kali test. I like that. That's going to go into the graveyard. We have 1 mana left floating. Let's go and go for the Vampiric Tutor. I'm going to put that on top. And then since we do have a sack outlet in the hand, what we can do is we can get down Liliana and start discarding and go for that Liliana. Army of the Damned, we want to go for that, put that on top. We're going to have more than enough mana for that. Yeah, let's put Army of the Damned on top. That would be a good way for us to kind of close it out. I like that. Anything else? No, we're going to go and swing in. Okay. So we got 5 coming across. We're just going to go ahead and swing in because there's nothing else that we can do. We're only at 7 commander damage. We've got 5 in total damage coming across. Puts them down to 21. We're okay with that, with this at this point right now. And then between Gauntlet of Power and the coffers, we're going to have a nice little chunk of mana coming across. Alright, and then we'll kind of re-rack on our Living Death. Let's kind of check that out in here in a second. So, we got Staff of Nin. It's going to put them down to 20. We've got Grave Titan coming back out of the graveyard with Living Death. We've got Fleshbag Marauder, Massacre Worm, and Kalitas. So we're going to have all those come back. With Kalitas coming back, they're going to have to sacrifice a creature if there's only one creature on the battlefield. That'll be Thrasios. He'll get exiled, and then we'll get a nice little zombie token for our Troubles. And then we'll get in a spot where we can kind of swing in the following turn potentially. So I'm okay with that. And then we still have Sign of Blood to kind of draw into a few more threats, but I kind of like this what we got going on. Now, as far as how much mana we can generate, if we want to simply get Liliana to flip, we'll see how much mana we have after we go for the Living Death. We can kind of swing in main combat, and then you know, if they do hold up Thrasios, then we may kind of hold off because we'll just be walking into like a Merfolk trap with his he's looking ultra fancy with his little robe over there. Mindslaver, okay, don't have enough mana for Mindslaver. But even if they control us, what we need to do is we need to sequence it to where there's just minimal damage being dealt to us. Oh, no, excuse me. They can still go for the Mindslaver activation. They sure can. Let's go ahead and Staff of Nin on our opponent. That's going to be a bummer. Alright. They're going to be able to untap their land, still have that 4 mana for Mindslaver. Let's go ahead and discard the... I guess we'll go and discard the Bloodthorn Vampire. And let's see if they're going to go for the Mindslaver activation. Yep, they are. Okay, so we're going to go for the Staff of Nin. We're going to ping them over right now. Deal 1 damage. What they can do is they can simply just go for Living Death, bring everything back, and sack everything with Bloodthorn Vampire. You know, either way, they would have had enough mana to cast Bloodthorn Vampire and then go for that, so... It is what it is. We'll see if they want to go for it. Maybe what the worst they could do is we have Army of the Damned on top. Not on top. That's not a word. We do have Army of Damned on top of our library. And what they can do is they go for Army of the Damned. They go for Living Death if they have enough mana. And then they'll be able to kind of rally from there. They'll get the staff going down. Put our creature on the bottom of this library. Get on the Friction Arena Staff of Nin trigger. And it's on them now, so we'll let them do their thing. But this would be a perfect time to be. On a side note, if you would like to be caught up in your own Living Death, brought out of the graveyard to serve Liliana in the undead army, head over to mtgotraders.com. That's where she trains all of her potential reanimator targets. And if you've not subscribed to the MTGO Traders YouTube channel, be sure you do. Making videos for them too. I have a link down in the description below if you would like to subscribe and check out some more content. Terran's out there doing some awesome standard and spoiler videos. We recently, somebody's doing some... MTGO is putting out some nice little MTG finance videos, which are pretty cool, so definitely check those out. So if you're bored and want to watch something else, head on over there. Okay, so opponents, we're right now we're sitting on a, with the coffers, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 mana being generated off the coffers. They can tap these extra swamps for 2 more. So we're looking around like 12 mana. They can definitely go for Army of the Damned. That's going to be 8. They don't have enough for Army of the Damned and Living Death, if I counted correctly. I may have miscounted. But we'll see if we can't survive this while they decide what they want to do. What's going to be the worst way. You know, either way, we're going to have Thrasios coming across. So it's almost like, you know, if they just preemptively go for Living Death to get rid of this board state right now, we can simply just cast it and kind of rally from there. We just don't really have any way to kind of exile our creature cards, so... I'm trying to think how they want to sequence it. About the worst thing they could do is Army of the Damned, 13 zombies, Living Death. But that's going to bring everybody back, get rid of the zombies. We could simply just tap my mana, go for a Sign in Blood, make me lose 2 cards, and then ping myself for 2. But other than that, this hand's pretty spicy. I like it. Oh. They went for the 2 mana for themselves, draw a couple cards. You got it, man. Now, we do have to watch out for the staff if we do end up getting the Living Death down, but that's okay. We'll make it work. And we did not grab a blood artist off that buried alive because, you know, hey, there's more to life than sacrificing creatures to blood artists. But I always try to make the videos a little varied for you. So, you know, if I play aristocrats every single time and it's always the blood artist fest all the time, I try and change it up, try and keep it nice and fresh for you. You know, we still are playing aristocrats, so I wanted to go for a little bit more proactive aristocrats line. Okay, as far as anything else, I mean, that's about it, really. They have no creature cards in the graveyard, so they don't want to go for Living Death. Army of the Damned's just really going to help us at this point. I might as well just go and tap all the mana out. You know, they could, you know, next turn staff a couple of our creatures away, put it on the bottom of the library, but and then until she, well, unless this is some sort of polymorph deck, then we might be in a little trouble. They're going to be able to Thrasios into, we haven't seen any creatures, so they can staff into like Emrakul or something like that. That may be something we need to watch out for. We'll see. We've got 5 coming across next turn. Staffing in, no staffing in activation. Puts them down to 13. Massacre Worm's coming out. It's going to reduce that life total. But at least we'll have a nice little beat stick to kind of swing it across. And then Fleshback Marauder, they're going to have to sacrifice it. And we'll at least get 2 off that trigger. If we get to our next step and they don't have a way to kind of keep recurring the Mindslaver. Because that would be a bummer if they go for the Mindslaver. That's not fun. I've played against Mono Blue Tron, and yeah, getting Mindslaver locked out, it's always just kind of like, ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Yeah, it's always very much just like, oh, man, alright, got it. Like, you win. It's like a very begrudgingly win, like, alright, fine. You got it, buddy. You mind-slavered me. But it's legal within the game of Magic. Okay, so we got Scry 1 coming across. Let's get the reveals popped up. Island. See if they're revealing off of that. Why not? You have Sword of Feast and Famine. You can untap all of your lands and then kind of go from there. Thought Vessel. But see, I don't know. What are we going to go for next turn? Living Death, recast it. They're not going to be able to swing in. So if we do go for Living Death, I kind of like that. We get a nice little board state developed. They're not going to be able to swing in. We have to watch out for a counterspell. That's something we don't really want to run it into, but at least we can kind of re-rack from there. We'll at least hopefully be making the Swamp land drop. And at this point, let's go and chunk these Scourge Deck High Priest. We don't have a way to support it as far as sacrificing. Most of our good stuff is in the graveyard. So Scourge Deck High Priest is better off in the graveyard to where we can get some nice little zombies going. And get those 5/5 zombies, those 5/5 demons going. Yes, indeed. Very Church of Atherius approved on those 5/5 demons. Okay. Opponent's tapping the Thawing Glacier. Search your lobby for a land card put on the battlefield. Forest, you got it. Is Thawing Glaciers, is it just, yeah, it's just a basic. Okay. Making sure we weren't going to get Academy Ruins on that. That wouldn't be good. Alright, so we do get a turn now. Beautiful. Let's get it rocking and rolling. I'm curious what's in their hand. I mean, they've not got down Kydele, which is really odd to me. Anyway, is what it is. Okay, Staffing in, draw a card. Got another Swamp. Affecting Arena, lose 1 life, Charcoal Diamond. Bajuka Bog. Let's go ahead. Windmill slam that Bajuka Bog. Get rid of that Mindslaver. Get out of here, Mindslaver. Go on, get. Get. Nobody likes you, buddy. Go on, get. Mindslaver. There we go. Get out of here. Just stupid. Okay, anything we want to sequence then? We've got, I guess we'll go and swing in for 5. Could kind of sequence some stuff to where we get a little bit extra damage. Massacre Worm. If we go, well, no, if we go main phase Living Death, then we're not going to get this damage in. So let's go and go for that. Let's go swing in. Coming in hot for 5. Put him down to 13. And then let's go ahead and go for, let's see how much mana we got rocking and rolling with the coffers. Oops. So we tap for 2. There we go. So we got 7 total mana. That's going to be enough for Living Death. We can go and get down the Charcoal Diamond. That'll be 5. That'll be just enough for, I think we got enough to, let's kind of just tap out on this one. This is going to be 13 plus 8. That'll be, yeah, just enough for Army of the Damned and Living Death. Let's go ahead and go for Living Death. Bring all of our creatures back to the battlefield. Fleshback Marauder trigger. And we'll just go ahead and sacrifice Fleshback to get it back into the graveyard. Get the 2 zombies on the battlefield. And, well, either way, Army of the Damned's going to be going into the graveyard. So, let's go ahead and go for... Let's go for Army of the Damned. We just want to have enough creatures to make sure we have a nice board state. If they have something like Cyclonic Rift, we can always flash it back. We have more than enough mana. We have 1 mana left floating over, and then we're just going to go ahead and pass the turn. Okay, that's a nice little board state developed. So we've got a lot of zombies going. Pretty much the only thing we're missing out on would be a Cyclonic Rift bouncing everything back to the hand. Once they've used that, and then we can go for Army of Damned out of the graveyard for 10 total mana. We've got enough to kind of support that 10 total mana so we can get another army back on the battlefield. So we're okay with that. See what they're tapping out for. There, Cyclonic Rift, there you go. Okay, told you. All right, we're going to have to discard again. Let's see, how do we want to sequence this? So we have Army of the Damned in the... You must have 7 cards in your hand. Let's go ahead and... We're still okay as far as our swamps go. Let's go ahead and chunk the Charcoal Diamond. Phyrexian Arena, we're at 7 right now. We don't need that. We can recast Massacre Worm, Kalitas, Scourge High Priest. Let's go ahead and chunk one more swamp. And then let's go ahead and go for... Well, let's hold on to a little bit of card draw. I kind of like everything else we got going on. We're going to get rid of Staffin. Well, no, if we get Staffin in, we get a little bit extra card draw. No, let's go and get rid of Staffin in. We have the land drop. We'll have Gauntlet of Power, name Black, start just redo everything. We still have Army of the Damned to go for. You know, Cyclonic Rift did get cast, but it is what it is. We can just kind of redeploy. Overextended into a Cyclonic Rift, but having the Army of the Damned having flashback allowed us to kind of make that line of play, so I didn't mind going for that. Let's see what they're tapping out for. Been a long game. No, not a whole lot of action. I'm trying to figure out what our opponent's got going on. Something's kind of, I don't know. It's got me wondering what they've got, what they're cooking up. They can't get their commander down, Thrasios. Put the Sword of Feast and Famine on there. Equip for 2. Thrasios is going to be 4. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Equip for 2. That's going to be 2 mana left over for Thrasios. We'll see. Let's see what's going on. So I got a Preordain going. Okay, sorry, my wife texted me. So we've got, yeah, they've got 8 mana. Let's see what's going on. More likely we can just go for coffers, tap out on the Gauntlet of Power. I think we'll have enough for it. Let's kind of re-rack on how much mana we've got. 1, 2. And we still have all of our Urborg. I mean, not all of our Urborg. We have Urborg out on the battlefield. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 mana. Tap for 4. Tap for 3 right there. That's going to be 7 added to our mana pool. We'll have 4 left over. So we go for Gauntlet of Power times 2. That's going to be 8 total mana. So that'll be 7, 2. That'll be 10 total mana. So we can actually get down Gauntlet of Power and go for the Army of the Damned redo. And they did not equip the Sword of Feast and Famine, which is interesting. Ooh, Rise of the Dark Realms. Okay, let's go and get that down. We don't have enough to support it, though. I mean, we've got a little bit, but we have a sack outlet. We can start sacking all of our creatures, though. Let's go and get the coffers going. And that is a swamp. I guess it didn't really matter how we sequence that. 8 total mana. Let's go Gauntlet of Power. We're going to choose black. We should click on black. There we go. We have 3 mana left floating over. Let's go ahead and... If we just get down Army of the Damned, it's going to be 10 total mana. Go for Army of the Damned, and then let's go ahead and we'll tap this last swamp, and we're going to go ahead and go for Bloodthorn Vampire. Alright, so that way we're going to be able to swing it with some zombies. We still have a sack outlet to kind of start sacrificing a bunch of creatures. If they want to swing in with the Sword of Feast and Famine, you know, we're looking at 3 coming across, puts us down to 4. But at this point, yeah, we should have grabbed a Blood Artist if that buried alive. Sorry, guys. Be nice to draw into one. We get that down and start sacking a bunch of creatures. That'll be pretty good. But at least with this Eldrazi spawn out there, we can hopefully kind of push past them this following turn. They've already used their Cyclonic Rift. Really, the only thing we're kind of looking after is like Snapcaster or something like that. But yeah, I use Blood Artist so much that we should have didn't opt to go for Buried Alive. Wanted to go for more of a proactive graveyard strategy. So sometimes that happens. It is what it is. We'll see what our opponent's going for. Got the staff coming across. Man, if this is just a long... There we go. You could have done that with Thrasios. Look at the cards. Eternal Witness. Okay. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, man. Brutal. Oh, the humanity. Eternal Witness on Cyclonic Rift. Okay, buddy. They'll be able to return that back to the hand, put it on the battlefield. Yeah, the staff you can... until they reveal a creature. Okay, so we didn't run into like Emrakul or something like that. But we did use our Army of the Damned. We didn't overextend into that. So we do have to watch out for Cyclonic Rift now. They're going to be able to swing in for 4. Swing in for 3 with the Sword of Feast and Famine. Bring that back. Yeah, they're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be 7 total mana. The Thawing Glaciers is a swamp off the Urborg. We can go for Massacre Worm to get a little bit extra utility out of it, but yeah, it's going to be hard for us to kind of swing. They're going to swing in with Thrasios and kind of really just put us down to 4. There's going to be 3 more the following turn, puts us down to 1. We'll see. Yeah, if we'd gotten a Blood Artist, we'd have been a little bit better on this one. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm thinking about it now. I was like, man, we should have at least just as a utility grabbed a Blood Artist or a Zulaport. More than likely Blood Artist. That would have been a better grab for us. So we'll see what we draw. See what we get into. We can always redeploy our creatures out there. We do have Massacre Worm to kind of catch one of their creatures off guard. And, yeah, I guess we can try and get down Liliana, start plussing her up, get a few more creature cards in the graveyard. Alright, deal that damage, untap their lands, discard a card. Let's go ahead and get rid of, at this point, I think we're going to go for Rise of the Dark Realms. We can bring some stuff back. Let's go for, let's get Grave Titan down. We can start discarding some cards to Liliana. Why not? Yeah, let's get Grave Titan into the graveyard. And we can sack Bloodthorn to ourselves, get Liliana down, sacrifice her, get that Planeswalker active. And then discard another card, discard Massacre Worm, kind of get those coming back out of the graveyard. Okay, Thawing Glaciers. That way we can kind of force them to use the Cyclonic Rift to bounce these zombies if they wait until our next turn, instead of bouncing it now. Because, well, either way, Bloodthorn Vampire will go back to hand. So either way, we'll still have that line of play to get down Liliana and start minusing on her, take care of the Eternal Witness, and kind of bring everything back with Rise of the Dark Realms. I don't have a whole lot of stuff. We do have Fleshback coming back out of the graveyard. So at least we'll kind of get an extra little zombie token for that. I mean, not zombie token, but we'll at least kind of get them to sacrifice that. After Massacre Worm kind of cleans up the Eternal Witness. Oh, we draw into Blood Artist. Okay. How do we want to sequence this? So we swing in. We know they have Cyclonic Rift. So if we try and cast Blood Artist, they're going to cast Cyclonic Rift in response to that. Then we can bring a few more creatures out on the battlefield. But we want to make sure we have Bloodthorn Vampire. Let's go for Liliana. Let's see. Let's go for Liliana. Yeah, let's get down. I'm trying to figure out how we want to sequence this. So we have that 2 mana to our mana pool. Yeah, Blood Artist is a really good draw. Let's go and let's get down Liliana. I want to make sure we have enough mana for Rise of the Dark Realms too, because we have more than enough for that. Get it into the graveyard, bring it back, cast Blood Artist. We need to sacrifice Blood Artist though to get it going. Let's go and force them to swing in, use the Cyclonic Rift. Let's go for that first. We can always sack Bloodthorn Vampire and then go for Rise of the Dark Realms. Let's go and come in hot, attack with all creatures. Yeah, because if we cast Blood Artist, and they're just going to cast it in response to that. Okay, so we're going to see Cyclonic Rift coming out. Cyclonic Rift. Let's go ahead and, do we want it back to the hand, or do we want to let it just go to the graveyard? That way we don't have to cast it. Yeah, let's go and sacrifice Bloodthorn. Yes. Okay. Get +2/+2. We're going to lose those zombies. Alright, so we got 4 coming down next turn. Let's go ahead and... It's going to be 1, 2... We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 total mana. We can tap the coffers. It's going to be 8 total mana. We can still get down the Gauntlet of Power, have 3 left over, and tap for 10. Bring everybody back. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 8 total mana. We go Gauntlet of Power. Get that down. Just tapping for 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 total mana. It's going to turn it into 13 total mana that we have. We're going to choose black. Let's go. Let's kind of just redeploy out. Let's go Massacre Worm. And then next turn we can go for Rise of the Dark Realms. Yeah, I like that. Let's go Massacre Worm. We're only sitting at 1 and they can swing in for 3, so we're okay with that. Let's go Massacre Worm. We're going to get the Eternal Witness. Take care of Eternal Witness. Get that down. Get the -2. Take care of, get that going. And then worst comes to worst, we can still get down Scourge Stag or Blood Artist kind of block if they have a counter spell. Essence Scatter. Counter target spell. Okay. We're okay with that. Let's go Kalitas. Get that down. We can chump block on the Eternal Witness, and then let's still go and get down Scourge Stag High Priest. We want to hold on to Blood Artist in the hand. That way there's nothing, no funny business. Okay. And then we're going to go and pass turn. Okay. So now, Cyclonic Rift is in the graveyard. We have Eternal Witness that they can do something with. They can bounce one of protect a creature on the bottom of its owner's library. So they can kind of shuffle us away, but we have a ton of creatures, so they're probably not going to staff ourselves. So we can at least go ahead and go for the Eternal Witness. And then next turn, we go for the Rise of the Dark Realms. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to be pretty close. We get down the Liliana, it's going to be 12. Sack the actual... Yeah, we'll see. We might be able to swing in for a little bit with Kalitas, kind of knock their life total down just a little bit. But at least we'll have a little bit extra life total with Kalitas on that life link if they do swing in with Eternal Witness. And this is been a long game, too. Okay, got the spawn token, Suthe, Baral's Expertise, Kefnet. Flying Indestructible, and they're all in line for Kefnet, but you know, at this point it doesn't really matter. Okay, so they get that down, draw a card, and you return a land you control to its owner's hand. Okay, but we will have an active Scourge Stag High Priest next turn, so that may be just enough with the 13 damage to kind of close it out. So I think I like that. And we don't have to worry about bouncing the Gauntlet of Power back to the hand. So Rise of the Dark Realms. Unfortunately, they have no creature cards in their graveyard. But if they do swing in with Eternal Witness and we block, that'll be... Well, no, it's going to get exiled, so excuse me, never mind. Sorry. If my commentary is a little... whatever towards the end of this video, it's because, hey, when you've been talking... Our opponent's almost at clock time. They're at 5 minutes away from clock time. And, hey, you know, it's your clock. You can do whatever you want. But I always try and keep my clock total about the same. Okay, Jace the Unraveler's Secrets. -2, return target creature to its owner's hand, I think. Yeah, so they can -2 if they want to on Kalitas, which it's going to force us to go for the... Okay, they're not going for it just yet. They're going to swing in first with the Thrasios, put us down to 1. Coming in hot, can't block. And the next turn we have Rise of the Dark Realms, we're going to just jam that. And if they have a counterspell, they have a counterspell. Discard a card, we're going to discard the Blood Artist. And then we'll be able to cast it next turn, hopefully, and go for that. Return Eternal Witness. Oh, on the Cyclonic Rift. Ugh. Bounce it back to the hand. Ugh. Nasty. Okay, so we're going to try and jam a... you know, either way, if they go for Cyclonic Rift back to the hand, we'll still go and jam a... Rise of the Dark Realms, why not? I mean, they have enough Cyclonic Rift mana, but there's not really much they can do. We can swing in, maybe we can catch Scourge Stag off guard, and then if they want to go for if they want to go for the, you know, if they want to bounce some stuff in response to that, they can. Do you want to swing in right now? No, we need to just strictly go for, see if they have a counterspell. If they have a counterspell, they win the game. We don't want a Night Whisper, we don't want to lose the game. So, let's just go ahead and jam a Rise of the Dark Realms, see if this sticks. Okay. Got an 8 total mana at our mana pool. 1, 2. Let's go for it. See if this sticks. We're going to be able to catch the Eternal Witness off a Massacre Worm trigger if this does resolve. So right now we're just banking it. If they have a counterspell, they've got it. If not, we should have enough to kind of close it out between triggers. Active Scourge Stag High Priest. They could Cyclonic Rift in response to that, but we have a lot of stuff in the graveyard, so we're okay with that. So It'll just oh ho 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 ho. All right, so let's go ahead and let's put the Massacre Worm trigger on the stack. I think I like that. Let's go. No, let's put the Grave Titan trigger. We go Massacre Worm. Let's go Flesh Bag. That way we take care of Eternal Witness. Okay, there we go. Massacre Worm. They're gonna lose that, and then let's go ahead and let's go and sacrifice the Kalitas. They're gonna lose one because we whiffed on that last trigger right there. Bloodthorn Vampire. Sacrifice a creature. We're going to sacrifice Flesh Bag. They have to sacrifice a creature too. That's going to be an extra trigger. Blood Artist up top. They're going to lose 2 life. Get those Grave Titans on the battlefield. Okay, and then we should be able to sack out on this one. Sack out the zombie. Whew, man. Sorry for this long game, guys. Well, not sorry, but I mean, opponent could have Cyclonic Rifted in response to that stuff, but hey, they didn't see that line of play. I will take it. Yeah, they could have done it in response to the zombies. I think we might have not closed it out, but hey, can't play for our opponent, so I will take this. It's a nice little Blood Artist win. So even if they go for Cyclonic Rift right now, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we should have enough to kind of go ahead and close it out. If we want to, we can go Night's Whisper, kind of seeing how things kind of shake out. But that was nice to kind of find. Blood Artist showed up like, hey, buddy, man, you should have picked me up earlier. And their opponent's waiting on the clock right now. I think they're trying to see if they want to do anything else. But all of this stuff can be activated at instant speed with Bloodthorn Vampire. So it is what it is. I guess it's too late to wait like 30 minutes into the video to see if we're recording. Okay, opponent scoops it up. I will take that. That was a very long Blood Artist win, and we just never got down Liliana because Thrasios it just got in a spot where we didn't. So sorry to the dude, the guy that said, hey, you should build Liliana. We never get her down. But Sword of Feast and Famine just put us into a spot to where they just would have swung in and just commander taxed her into oblivion. So we did give it a shot. So here we are. So all right, everybody, if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.